Well, I'm near Penistone in West Yorkshire. It's about 177 miles from London, say 28 miles from Manchester, and Barnsley's pretty much next door. It's a historic town, and some of the ancestors of the poet Wordsworth used to live here, and the school had been going 100 years when Columbus discovered America. Bet that messed up the geography lessons. I've discovered that in an age when people are closing down old cinemas, converting them to carpet warehouses or something, and ripping out the cinema organs, here, the cinema's not only thriving, they're trying to get a cinema organ in. Oh, this is rather nice, isn't it? I'll tell you what strikes me immediately, Steve, because I've been in one or two where the cinemas have been revived a bit, and the seats aren't too good, but these look lovely. Have these been in since the start?
No, these were installed about 10 years ago. They actually came out of a top West End cinema who refurbished, and we were very fortunate in being able to pick up what are really good quality seats.
Yes, they look jolly good. So how long has this building been used as a cinema then?
Since November 1915.
How long have you been associated with the place then?
Ooh, 25 years now, since September 1974.
It's a multi-purpose building, isn't it? Mainly a cinema, but you do a lot of other things.
This, I think, is why I'm still here and why I'm still interested. It is a very interesting job.
What sort of things do you put on?
Oh, a lot of live events. We have a flourishing amateur scene in Penistone. We've also had wrestling, clairvoyance, stand-up comedy, and of course...
Ah, yes, the famous organ there. But that, obviously, is a bit of a substitute organ at the moment, isn't it? Yeah. Is the organ particularly in demand around Penistone?
I had no idea how much interest there was in a theatre organ until we began to install this instrument.
I always knew that I would have a cinema organ one day. I didn't realise that it would be one of the Rolls Royces.
Well, I mean, it's not the sort of thing you see in Exchange of Mart, is it? I mean, where do these things come from?
Well, actually, this...
What's the history of this? Where's it been?
Right. It was built in 1937 by the John Compton Organ Company in London for the 3,000-seater Paramount, as it was then, Birmingham, which later became the Odeon. It remained there until 1988, when, because of the building alterations to turn the cinema into an 8-screen complex, it had to be removed. It was reinstalled at the Regal Cinema at Oswestry in Shropshire in 1989, and then due to various reasons that cinema had to close in 1994. The owner had an offer from Australia for the organ, however he didn't want it to leave the country. He also had another offer for the organ for it to be broken up and used as spare parts to keep other instruments going. He also turned that down, and basically he said to me, all right, I'll do a good deal with you for the organ as long as you promise not to let it go out of the country or not to break it up for spare parts, that you keep it as a complete instrument. And pleased to say, here it is. Myself and several of the colleagues that's helping to rebuild the organ here at the Metro did actually dismantle the organ at the Regal Cinema at Oswestry over 5 days. We very carefully labelled everything. We're very careful packing all the pipes into wooden crates with soft packaging between the layers. The organ was in very, very good condition. It had been overhauled and partly restored before its installation into Oswestry, which has saved us an immense amount of money.
Obviously, there's some idealism involved. I don't want to just bring it down to a business level, but this, same as that one out there, they are owned by you then, aren't they?
They are, yes.
What happens? Does somebody rent it from you?
I've actually given custody of the organ for a 10-year period to a group of volunteers, of which I'm one of them.
So it's a trust then, is it?
It's a trust, yes, an organ trust, who have agreed an agreement with the council, who own the Metro Cinema, to keep the organ installed here at the Metro for a minimum period of 10 years. After that 10 years, the agreement's up for renegotiation, which we can't see the organ ever leaving this building. It's a fine home for it, it's a fine organ for the building, and the two are just so well suited.
And this is the temporary organ, but beneath this organ and beneath the acre of seats, men are working. So, Jeff, the process of the organ playing, this is the heart of it.
This is where it all starts, yeah.
What am I looking at?
Well, this lump, that's the blower. That provides all the wind. There's an entrance round, inlet round the other side, and of course it comes out at the flange here. Yeah. In order to make that turn round, we have an electric motor. The motor also drives this little generator, because the organ requires DC supply, because all the keys on the keyboard and all the tab switches are only electrical switches, and they all have to switch a DC voltage. Yeah. And it's that DC switching that energises the pipes.
Well, that's the start of the process of getting the organ sounding. What's the next step?
Well, the next step is to take this wind through some wind trunking to each of the banks of pipes.
Well, that was the blower, and well, here's all the pipes where the music really begins, I suppose. Now, hang on, Fred. Sorry to interrupt you. Can you come over and just give me a bit of help on this? Now, presumably the little pipes are the high notes, or
These are the high notes, and if you look behind you, all these are the big notes.
Blimey. I see. So they've yet to be fitted.
Yes, yes.
This must be like having a piano that's exploded or something.
You
know, and all you've got is bits of keys and bits of wire, and you guys have got to make it back into a piano, or in this case, an organ.
That's correct, yes. Yeah.
Are you organ experts that are working?
Oh, no, we're all retired pensioners, and we're just doing this as a hobby, and we're thoroughly enjoying it.
Well, who is it then who tells you? You can't just put these things anywhere. I mean, who tells you where to put them?
Kevin tells us all, he gives us our instructions, he leaves us instructions, what work to be done, and we carry it out. Yeah. And we're thoroughly enjoying it.
Good. So all these different notes, medium pipes, little pipes?
I'll finish into the chamber room.
So, Ron, this is the organ chamber, isn't it? Now, I've seen where the blower starts. It starts puffing. It's not all going yet, and some pipes. Then it comes through to these.
It comes through the various ranks of pipes. This is a rank, and that is a.
So are you telling me that all these little holes that look like a ball game, don't they? Look as though you could like roll balls along this and win prizes.
All have a purpose.
They've all holes for a pipe.
Yes, and there's 1,000 of them in round figures in this particular chamber here. Yeah. And in due course, we shall find all the pipes that fit into the respective holes.
You can't just stick pipes in anyway.
No, that's quite true, no.
We have 1,000 or so.
We have a plan, yes, we have a plan, yes.
Well, let's have a look.
We have a plan, yes. Everything is to a plan.
And some of them, I know, obviously, flute, you'll get a flute noise out of that.
That's right, that will be a rank of flutes.
Yeah, tuba, you'll get a bass note out of that trumpet. Yeah. Having a look round, it's not all blowing and puffing, is it? I mean, you see what?
Yeah, there.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
That's xylophone noise.
That's right. The wind, of course, goes in at the openings again on each end.
Yeah, and the wind operates the hammers.
The hammers hit the... Yes, that's it.
That's it.
And and those are your xylophones and your vibraphones. Yes, that's
very nice. Yeah. See, I've just noticed. I mean, this is a little pipe, isn't it?
This is one of the smaller ones. Yes.
Yeah. Is that the smallest high note?
It's one of the smallest ones. The small ones are the high notes, and the deeper ones are the low notes. Oh, there we are. Yeah. Pipe your board.
What do they call them? Bosun's whistles or something like that?
Yes.
This is the nervous system.
It is, yes. A very important part of the organ.
Now, I wouldn't know where to start. How do you know where to sort of solder bits together? I can't work it out.
Well, luckily, we've been supplied with this, what I call my Bible, really. It gives you all the different types of wiring and colour scheme. So as long as you're not colour-blind, we're OK. I'm very fortunate that I've actually heard this organ actually in situ in the previous home in Oswestry.
I see, so it's not just great big lumps of wood and wire to you. You know what it can do.
And what it sounds like.
What did it sound like in
Wonderful, an historical event.
You see, I don't understand all this. This is all spaghetti junction to me. It's all bits and pieces. You know, because you can look and say purple goes to green.
Right.
But you see, this little bit...
the toy counter.
Yeah, that's right. The toy counter there. Now, I understand that because I can hit it and hear what it does, you see. It's not pressing buttons like all this lot.
That's right.
So did this come from Birmingham then, Oswestry as well?
That's right. It's even got the original wiring from 1937.
What does that do? Does that do like the whistle or something?
It is, yes. We've got steamboat whistles.
And that, you see, that's a real antique.
It is.
All you've got the other side is a hammer to go bang, bang,
to knock
bang.
it off, that's right. And of course, maracas
Oh,
from
lovely.
Spain.
Yeah, do the teeth with that bit, yeah. Oh, that's very nice. I'd like to take this home. I could sit around, put a record on and work my way round, you know, do a few things. Well, that's it from the Metro Cinema in Penistone. And in only a few months' time, thanks to the efforts of all these helpers here, in Penistone it'll be Let There Be Music. If music be the food of love, play on. Shall we have another cup of tea?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One sugar for me.
Oh, yeah, OK.